Hey y'all, and welcome to the first ever episode of Let's Bong. On today's menu we have this little tuna and avocado roll that I just whipped up myself, and then these little sushis. Now I've actually been on a sushi kick. I really wanted to try sushi. I've only had it once in the past and it was less than pleasant. And I actually picked this one up from Wally World, and this is the Moji sushi shrimp and avocado roll. And it comes with a few things. This little soy sauce that I'm not brave enough to try. This little ginger thingy that I'm not brave enough to try. And wasabi that I'm actually completely not brave enough to try. So along with the first ever episode, I also have a little bit of a story time, and I do want to preface it by saying that I am a larger girl. I've been chubby my whole entire life, and it's actually just been here in the last few weeks that I've really tried to kind of get my weight under control and trying to actively lose weight. So I've been chubby my whole life. Let's remember that while I start my story. This one actually has a bite out of it already because I've tried to record this video a couple times, but let's try this little sushi piece. It's not bad. It's kind of got a weird sweet flavor. I was just hoping that this would give me some semblance of what sushi actually tastes like. Today's drink is nothing fancy. It's just this white grape water. And I know that if you're trying to lose weight that you need to just drink water, but I just need a little bit of flavor. I think it's the rice that makes it sweet. It's a little weird. Let's get into the story. So this happened several years ago, in North Georgia. I was still in college, and I was freshly single. That's super good. I was freshly single, and I wasn't going around dating guys, but I was talking to guys, just as friends. And then if it ever went anywhere, then it was, whatever. Which of course eventually it did, but this guy in particular, it was really interesting because I didn't go in expecting anything. We were just solely talking. So this guy and I, we'll call him Robbie. We talked for several months, and we actually lived really close to each other. So I don't know, we just never met. We were just talking. But the whole time we're talking, I'm telling him, I'm chubby. I'm a bigger girl. Now, don't get me wrong. I've never been the kind of girl who will, eat garbage and then not work out. It's not like that. I was chubby from birth. I come from a long line of big-shouldered, fat-armed women. And I've just always been naturally chubby. But I've never been the kind of girl that's going to gorge herself and eat garbage and then not work out. I always have little moments of realization in my life where I'm just I need to stop eating garbage and I need to start eating right. So for me to say that I ran a lot or that I occasionally worked out is true. That's true. I would occasionally hit up the gym, or I would go and I run, and I got into a kick of doing Zumba a lot. So I wasn't just a fat sedentary slob. So me and this guy would talk about running and working out and hiking. I love to hike. Hiking is so fun to me. So I guess that's why when I would say oh, I'm chubby, he wouldn't always believe me. He would just kind of brush me off oh, no, you're not. And I remember one time I went to try on jeans and I was in the dressing room and I took a picture of it. And you could very clearly see in that picture that I had these big old broad shoulders, that I had my big old hips, and that I was short but chubby. So I sent him the picture. And he was like, no, you look fine. You don't look fat. You know, what have you. So we went back and forth talking for a long time. And eventually we did meet. So we met at a mall. Now, this was back in the day when I wore Spanx a lot. So, in Spanish we call them fajas. But the day that I went to meet him, I wore my best faja. Like, I wore my best Spanx, y'all. Like, I was snatched in my waist. Which, if you kind of look at me, like, I have a very wide frame, period. But that day, I was, like, hourglassing, you know? So, even though he's told me this entire time that I've shown him my body, like, oh, you're not fat, I still, you know, kind of wanted to make sure that I didn't look fat. So I met him. And we hung out basically all day. And towards the end, he was like, I had a really good time. You know, drive safe, everything. Because I didn't have the guts at the time to be like, so what did you think, you know? So, I didn't think anything of it. Like, I didn't think it was weird. I didn't think that he had thought any kind of way about me. Like, I thought it was just a regular hangout, you know? So, like I said, me and this dude had gotten pretty close. And so, of course, when I got home, I asked. And you know what? I should have chopsticks. They didn't have any. Like, I didn't come with any. But I got home and I asked him. And I said, well, what did you think? And I feel like when you ask that question, like, someone should respond with a positive, like, because you're asking them your opinion of you. Like, you're basically asking for rates. So I was like, what did you think? That was a really big mouthful. I'm anticipating this guy to be like, it was fun. Your personality is fun. You're so sarcastic. You're so funny. Because I am so super sarcastic, but something like that, you know? And like I said, I was wearing my... So I asked him, what did you think? And there was no, like, oh, you're so sarcastic, it's funny. There was no, there was no, like, oh, your hair's really pretty. No. He went straight for, and I kid y'all not, y'all. He went straight for, you're bigger than I thought you were gonna be. I couldn't even. I laughed, and then I was embarrassed, and then I was a little ticked, and then I laughed again, because I had spent weeks telling this dude, like, I am chubby, I am large, I am fat, I have big shoulders, I'm a freaking linebacker, and this whole time he's like, no, you're not, and then he's gonna tell me that the first thing that he noticed about me was that I was fat. Or that's what he's gonna say when I ask him, like, what'd you think? And I don't even know. Like, that guy, I don't even know. So I texted my cousin and I, like, told her about it, because she's fat like me too. And it was just a whole thing. Like, he and I, obviously, we didn't, after that, I mean, we didn't go anywhere. But in that same conversation, when he was like, oh, well, I noticed that you're fat, he said, I don't really have time for a girlfriend, I don't have time to do this, and it was just like, bitch, you don't like me because I'm fat. It's just kind of like, I've been telling you this whole time. you know? I don't even know, y'all. But, like, that's just the thing, like, I'm not telling you that I'm fat because I want you to tell me that I'm not. I'm telling you that I'm fat because I am, and I'm trying not to shock you. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a damn bodybuilder or anything, but I'm chubby, you know? That's just, some people are skinny. Some people are bodybuilders. Some people are obese. I'm just fat.